Well, we do collaborate with Türkiye, but Malaysian procurement policy is, of course, through a very transparent tender exercise. You know, there were some controversies, and of course, I lead the government, despite all the criticisms about issue of governance. I'm telling you, this is the first time in our history that we have taken tough measures against abuse of process and abuse of power or corruption, including in the issue of procurement of armaments. So that policy stands. Now, therefore, the technical committee must advise us what is the best, competent, and competitive in terms of price. Now, they have recommended some facility through Turkey. We're happy with it. And with the support of the President, Erdogan, that helps facilitate, brought down the price, cut this, not only red tape, but also the commissions by the agents. These things are being done because of this understanding. I told President Erdogan, look, I want to change the system of procurement. And he said, yes, I can assure you, we change the system, we bring down another 10% or 15%. So that's how we continue to work. It's not still ideal, but it's still in the process. And for that matter, with China, with even United States, people here, the opposition attacked me for buying Boeing from the United States and Airbus from Europe. You see, we ordered before the war. And secondly, what else do you want me to buy? I can buy, you know, we can make planes for now. So, you know, because of the, you know, they say American aggression, therefore you must not buy. I said, Boeing can be bought from only from the United States and Airbus from Europe. We tried. I talked to President Lula, but his plane. He said, you can, but we have to wait for another 6 years. Meanwhile, we will continue to ride horses. So there are limitations. But we are, despite the fact that, you know, my position of the U.S. foreign policy, we engage very well and we don't have prejudice, we have no problems. Because I thought it is a good deal, very intense engagements, and we procure the planes that we require for our communications and transportation. So, you decide what to do, what to buy. I don't decide. You see, the country sometimes, because the past practices, they say, sir, what do you recommend? I say, no, I don't have the expertise. I don't know which tank to buy. There are hundreds of tanks. But you tell me, if you come and give me the recommendations, you know, sir, only one tank in the world is suitable. You give all the specs that only fits that particular company, I'm of course suspicious. There are hundreds of tanks in the world, and you come and give me recommendations, only one specification that fits the entire requirement of this country. Voila, that's not acceptable. Bye. And then, okay, but now one question, yeah? Of course, we work very closely with Turkey, and of course, for now, projection to May, June, although we are, and people think that we are all producing nation, yes, but we are a net importer too, because our products, the premium brand, which costs you know, slightly higher, but we still import. But credit goes to Petronas because they have an excellent track record, excellent relations with these oil-producing countries. And therefore, we don't have that sort of a crisis in terms of supply. There may be some price disruptions, but the supply for the next few months, we are quite assured of that. But on LNG too, because of our massive production here in Malaysia and our import from Australia, which is a long-standing arrangement, and our major success in the procurement in Canada with Petronas Canada operations. But with Turkey, as I mentioned to you, all fields, including LNG, semiconductor, we are exploring in a very aggressive manner. And you know, President Tayyip Erdogan is not an easy man to deal with. He's tough. He wants it to be done. He wants it to be done yesterday. So similarly with me, that's why we become great friends. But you are right. We are not sometimes. I'm not blaming necessarily the bureaucracy, but sometimes we are tied to the old ways. You know, you buy, you assume it must be that. That's why when it comes to buying planes, it doesn't matter. Yes, we go to Airbus, we go to Google, United States, but we also go to Spain and China and negotiate whether they can supply or not. So we don't have that truncated viewpoint that it must be from a traditional alliance of countries. For example, with India, you know, in my discussion with Modi, by the way, President Modi ji was you know, had an excellent visit here. He said one of the great visits he made, very good. And I went there too and sang some Hindi songs, which was viral. I think very soon if I retire, I can start probably changing the profession. But what is important to my mind is where in areas that we can be both beneficial to our countries, we should proceed. And this, I think, thank you, and the Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is here. I mean, we take a very open view. We integrate, we excel, we make sure that we take all necessary measures to accelerate the process of engagement, of relations with all countries. And this is, I think, the advantage of being, as I said, fiercely independent,